Hello, we're in the Membership Action Plan database, looking at one of the most used pages, the Progress Dashboard page. We find that link right here. When the page opens, you'll notice that your club's membership history has been converted from percentages to hard numbers. As we saw on the goal setting page, these little circles with the question marks are pop-ups, rollovers that explain each of these parameters. Mouse over each one of those, and of course you can come back if you're not completely clear on any of them. If you've set a membership goal for your club, you'll see a number for new members needed. If that's not the case, we'd suggest you first set a membership goal, then come back to the Progress Dashboard. Now, this is a larger club. It has a membership goal of 63 against a start of 60 members. They've attracted 5 new members already this year, against a total of 14 new members needed. Now that 14 is because their membership goal is to grow by 3 and their average annual attrition is 11. You'll notice they've also had only 1 termination so far this year. Scrolling down, we see 2 representations of their progress. First, a bar graph showing that they're 36% to their goal of 14 new members needed. Scrolling down farther, you see the gold trend line of the needed new member attraction rate in order to meet the goal of 14 members beginning July 1st and ramping to the 1st of June. If you mouse over any part of the gold line, you'll see how many members should be on board at any given month. At the 1st of January, they're at 5 new members, looking pretty good, but to be on pace in January would require about 7.5 members, so they have some catching up to do. There's also a full screen view with the same rollovers. This is predictive data, what you want from your stockbroker. The degree to which you're behind or ahead of the new member attraction baseline predicts exactly how far you're likely to exceed or fall short of your membership goal at year end. On the left side, we find some detail. They're doing well. They've brought on 5 new members. They've only lost 1. Now there are 10 more likely to go. They just haven't told us who they are yet. The point of this progress dashboard is to regularly remind you that you need to anticipate attrition on an annual basis and attract in advance the number of members that it will take to replace those likely to leave your club. Attrition tends to be back-end loaded, and clubs are regularly disappointed that a number of surprise terminations late in the year burst their early net gain bubble and they end up with a loss. Now this is the progress dashboard for a club. Let's scroll up and look at the progress dashboard for a district. As on the club dashboard, there are some important progress metrics across the top of the page. Scrolling down, the success track model is again a predictive pace of net member growth required to end the year with a net gain. Considering the typical drops of membership in December and June as clubs clear their books to avoid semi-annual dues on inactive members. For those of you interested in this model, there's a rollover here that has a link to a white paper that fully explains the success track. On the left-hand side, we see overall statistics. This district has attracted 185 members, lost 179 for a net gain of 6. At the top right, we see the spread between the success track and the actual net gain. That is 18 members short of the success track. This district has some catching up to do in the second half of the year. For zone leaders, there's also a zone progress dashboard. Again, we see metrics across the top, and also progress on the success track model as it applies to the zone. Back on the club dashboard, you'll notice if you're a district leader, you can select any club in the district and review these dashboards on demand. Let's look at one other club so you can see a bit more about how this works. Here's a club with a little different situation. Notice their low average annual attrition rate, only 4 members. We'll come back to that. Halfway into the year, they're at 62% of the new members needed. And look at this pace, right on the money. On the left, we discover they've had 10 terminations already this year, far more than the average of 4. That's why the pace graph is at 13. They need to replace those 10 plus the 3 by which they intend to grow. So the pace graph always tells you where you are with respect to attracting enough new members to meet your goal, whether you haven't yet suffered your average annual attrition or whether you've already exceeded it. Check back monthly on your club's progress dashboard. It's highly predictive of whether you're ahead or behind the pace of new member attraction to meet your goal. Thanks for listening, and take some time to explore the Membership Action Plan database.